World War I, beginning in 1914, is known for its use of trench warfare because both sides fought in miles of trenches. My image is of American soldiers having one meal in one of these trenches. It captures a time during the war where the soldiers lived day to day in one of these trenches, slowly losing their morality because of the dirty living conditions. These conditions were one of the many disadvantages to the trenches. The image also shows the soldiers sitting very close together without much walkway between the walls, showing the cramped living conditions the soldiers lived through. The cramped spaces led to growing diseases and death among the soldiers. Trench warfare also led to many stalemates in which each side of the war didn't move from their positions, making the soldiers spend more time in these trenches. When the war was going on, it often led to large casualties from both sides because the soldiers were easily visible from the surrounding trenches, allowing them to be killed more easily. Another disadvantage is that the trenches were very unsafe because of the use of tear gas, flooding the trenches with poisonous gas and forcing the soldiers to go above the trench and risk being killed. On the other hand, an advantage to trench warfare is that the trenches offered protection for the soldiers and made it very difficult for the opposing team to kill them. Throughout the war, the maze of trenches grew, leaving thousands of miles of abandoned trenches after the war. Overall, the trenches had more disadvantages than advantages, making the image I chose fitting because it shows the ways of the harsh life of thousands of American soldiers who fought in the war. The main reason I chose this image is because the trenches were a main part of the First World War, and the image captures the living conditions of many of the soldiers who took part in it. It also shows the importance of the American troops fighting. The trenches were also important because it demonstrated the time and effort the troops used to construct the complex web of trenches to fight in. They also had different areas for eating, sleeping, and fighting, showing their goal of protecting and living in their own trench while fighting to take over the opposing side's trench. All of the combined factors, including the advantages and disadvantages of trench warfare, led the U.S. to a victory with the Allies.